Dispatching dangerous goods from the consolidation terminal is challenging on the best of days. Trying to remember all the rules and applying them to the loads at hand to minimize placards, comply with segregation, track ERAPs takes a lot of time. And no matter how much of an expert one is, it is prone to errors. DGSMS, an internet browser-based solution, is the answer that gives the driver the confidence that they will not get an infraction which can cost them revenue and the company safety points. With an interface in English, French, and Spanish, an online emergency response guide, the ability to push the load manifest to a driver with DGMOBI or integrate to the back-end IT system with zero installation cost. DGSMS is the solution for truck consolidation on a good day or a bad day with an inexperienced or experienced dispatcher. Placarding and segregation is right every time. And all this at a cost that is less than a good latte every day. Welcome to the demo of DGSMS. To launch DGSMS, open a web browser and type in trial.dgsms.ca. And if you're a first-time user and you want to try it out, you can click on trial registration and register for a free trial. I will let you do that as an exercise, and I will log into the main page. So enter my username, my password, and I log in. This is the main page of DGSMS, and I would like to walk you through its features. The first element you'll see is lookup placard, which is where you can verify the placard required for any single UN number. The next item is loading placard selection. This is where one consolidates multiple loads of dangerous goods and determines the optimal placarding for the consignment. The third tab is NSNL Ferry. These are for shipments that go between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland aboard the ferry. They need to comply to IMDG, and this page helps you verify whether the loads are segregated correctly and you have the right placarding. The next tab is the ERG, where one can enter the UN number and view the ERG instead of trying to find the data in a massive book and jump into various cross indexes. The next tab is user options, where one can retrieve the previous transactions, retrieve the Nova Scotia and Newfoundland ferry transactions, set the ERG status whether you want to print it or not, set the application timeout, how soon do you want the system to log out, change one's passwords. In the administration, one can go through user management, configuration, license management, and mobile transactions. And most important is to be able to switch between languages for the interface. So by clicking on this, one can switch between English, French, or Spanish. So let's start with a lookup placard request. The first step I need to enter is the bill of lading or pro bill number. So go pro 01, UN number. Let's take something challenging, maybe a class 2. I have 10 packages at each one at a 80.1 kilos. It asks me whether it's an IBC, yes or no. I say display placard. So this tells the operator that for this load, I will need a class 2 placard. So this is very, very useful when one has a driver on the road, he has to pick up and says, can you please verify the placarding required for the single load? And then you can print this document out with or without the ERG. So the first time around, I printed it with the ERG. It tells you here's the UN number, the class, the packing group is not applicable, the total weight, number of units, ERAP, no, there's no ERAP, and the bill of lading. And this is a placarding that has to be on the truck. And this is the labels that have to be on the cylinder. I can save it as a PDF, I can print it, I can email it. It's choice that I can make. If I save it, trial, lookup, I save it. Now let's get the more interesting one, which is consolidation of dangerous goods in the terminal. So let's take Pro 01, UN number 1202. I'll ask you, what is it? Is it diesel, gas oil, or heating oil? This needs to be matched with the Pro bill. And let's assume it's heating oil. Let's say submit. How many packages do I have? I got 10 packages at 50.1 kilos or liters. It'll give me an option to change packing groups, but since I only have one for this UN number, it's only packing group 3. Is it IBC or not? I say no, and I say add. It says for this I need a class 3 placard. And let's go add a second load, Pro 002, UN number 1002, number of packages 10, 50.1, and I say it's not an IBC, and I say add. And it says you can use a danger placard for this, or I can have an option of danger placard, a class 2 and a class 3. So you'll see in the optimize shows you the least number of placards required for the truck, semi-optimized and non-optimized. And again, one can print with the RG. And I say, yes, I'm going to use heating oil. And it gives me this. And then if I scroll further down, you'll see the ERG that we had discussed. Gives you the phone numbers and the emergency response guide for that for the 1202 diesel, followed by the 1002. Quick and easily accessible. Now I can then assign this to a driver. For example, these are my drivers on the system, and I want to move it out to Santosh Kumar. I click on him and I click on assign, and his DGMOBI terminal will receive the request and will recompile the placarding based on the loads on his truck. New transaction, again Pro 003, UN number 1002. Number of packages are 1, gross weight is 10 kilos. But this time around I say it's an IBC. And I say, is a residue? Yes. And I say add. And immediately you see I got the green placard, even though it is at 10 kilos, since it has residue in a large container that has the capacity of 450 liters or more. I must have the UN number on the placard also. And now if I add my Pro 004 and my gasoline at class 3, number of packages is 10, 50.1, and I add. I cannot use my danger placard as per regulations. But if I add the next one, Pro 005, and I add in sulfuric acid. Here's the first one, sulfuric acid with more than 51%. Number of packages is 10, 50.1, and I say add. Now, the class 8 and the class 3 can be replaced with a danger placard. If you look at my options, you see the danger or in a class 2 or all 3 placards. The choice of the terminal manager or the driver handling the load. Now I go back and add another load, Pro 006. And UN number is again 1830. Sulfuric acid with more than 51% acid. Submit. And this time I put in 100 packages of 50.1 liters. Now you see something else has come up. It's asking me for ERAP. The ERAP index for sulfuric acid is 3,000 liters. And past 3,000, I need to put an ERAP reference number. So I put a demo 01. And it's not an IBC, and I say add. Now you'll see that I cannot use a danger anymore because class 8 has ERAP, so it has to be shown with a class 8 and 1830. So now it's 3 placards on the truck. Now, if I have a load that's incorrectly added or I want to take it off the manifest, all I do is click on the minus sign and the placarding is recalculated. Again, I can assign it to a driver. I can assign it. I can print it. And again, this printout should accompany the pro bills that go with the driver. It is very, very helpful with the inspector. When the inspector looks at this, he has a very quick summary of what's in the truck without having to go through every pro bill in the stack. And it has been found that inspectors who see this and process this are able to speed up the inspections. Most truck drivers claim that inspection time has dropped for 1 hour down to 5 to 10 minutes. Tremendous savings. So I will let you, the user, go and take a trial account and try the UN numbers yourself. You can try the segregation, you can try different weight limits, the danger placard logic, and see for yourself that it indeed does work. Now I'll demonstrate the Nova Scotia and Newfoundland ferry crossing. So again, I enter my pro bill number, my UN number, and I say it's non-bulk. The number of packages are 10 at 50.1. I say add. If everything is good, I will get a green tick, in which this case it is. I then go back and add the next one, 1203. It's gasoline. I say it's non-bulk, 10 at 50.1, and I say add. And voila, what used to be able to carry on the road, you can't carry on the ferry crossing. And this is marked by a big X. So now one has two choices. They can send this report down to the shipper and say, hey, you can't ship this together, or if you are consolidating, you have to put them into separate trailers. And if you print their report, it says just that. It says, this container contains incompatible items and must be segregated into 2 separate containers. You can print it, save it, email it, your choice. Now let's go look at the next group. Is again same thing, Pro 007, UN number 1203, gasoline, yes. But this time it's in limited quantities. It's going, and it's strong outer packaging. And over here, and I can say it's 10 liters. And it says, oh, whoa, hold up. It can only be 1 liter max. The system checks to make sure that you're compliant with the IMDG LQ rules, or the EQ rules, or the bulk rules, as the case may be. So I go and put in 1 liter. How many packages? I got 100 packages. And I go add. No problem. Now I go back and add 1002. And I put it in again, limited quantity, stronger package, and again put my 1 liter. He said, whoa, hold up. This is 120 milliliter cans max. Oops, sorry, 120 milliliters, 120 grams. Number of packages, again, got say 200 packages. I say add. And this time you see both are allowed to be mixed because they're both a limited quantity. And when I print the manifest summary, it'll tell me the class, the packing groups, the net quantity per package, the number of packages, gross mass, package type LQ, which is a limited quantity, the stowage code, the EMS code, and the bill of lading. It also tells you what placarding has to be on the container or the trailer for the ferry crossing. And it reminds you to check for the labeling on the packaging. The 1203 should have the limited quantity, and the 1002 compressed air should also have the limited quantity labels on the package. So let's do one more, and then I'll leave it for you as an exercise to try them out for yourself. Pro 008. And I'm going to put in 1830 sulfuric acid in, let's say in bulk, 3 packages at 1,000 liters each, and I add. Good. Then I go in and add 1002 in limited quantity. Strong outer packaging, again 0.12. 500 packages, 500 cans. I say print. It tells me I need to have, since it's bulk packaging, my class 8 with my UN number on the placard. It gives you different tabs, or you can print it. The user options. The most important one for users is retrieve transactions. This is where one can go back into previous history and retrieve it. So one can select a date range, say from 1st of March till today. And you can choose by users, all users. I say submit. And here it gives me a full listing of all the transactions that were done. And I have a chance of option to copy it into a new transaction. So if I want to repeat a similar load that was done before, I can copy that. I can reprint it. Our choice. So I'm going to click on copy. And the load comes back up for us to work with again. Same thing with NSNL Ferry. I can set the ERG status to enable, disable. So if I choose disable, it will not pop up on my transaction for printing, on the documentation, saving me an extra click. And this is at the user level. I can change the application timeout. I can change my password. And I also have a tutorial in case I want to get a refresher on the application. In the administration level is user management, where you can create web users, mobile users, manage your licenses, configuration. We can enable, disable. In this case, we've disabled elevated temperature placard because our company doesn't carry elevated temperature dangerous goods. So it will not double check on all the possible goods that could be elevated temperature, whether or not to have the elevated temperature sign. So again, it reduces the number of clicks during operations if you don't have elevated temperature as part of your business. How you wish to have the UN number displayed on the placard or to the side. And one can also restrict UN numbers. For example, if I restrict 1203, gasoline, I say add. And now I go down to loading placard. And I add 1203. And it says restricted by organization. I go back into user management configuration and remove the 1203. And I can now go back and add the gasoline to the system. I can also configure it to block an entire class. For example, I do not want to have a class 1 or a class 2. So I can say block 2.1s. And all 2.1s will be blocked. All in all, it's a straightforward application available in English, French, or Spanish interfaces that helps your terminal managers consolidate dangerous good loads onto a truck with the right placarding, the right segregation, be it for road across Canada or the ferry segment between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. We encourage you to try the software out. The trial is for free. And we have a 24/7 support that will help answer any questions that you may have. We thank you for watching.